Dog. And when I mean dog, this game, this is my favorite chapter. Okay. My most favoritism is Hibidism chapter. I'm gonna watch a video on this later. After I do this. Should I go back to whatchamacallit? Should I go back to the? Okay, I'm just gonna finish this. I want to see what's new. Chris, you going home? Yeah. All right. Then guess it's goodbye for today. See you tomorrow, Chris. Chris, how? Okay, this is the same thing. Okay, how was studying with your? Alright, Chris, is that your friend? Why don't you invite her inside? Chris, I should probably get going again. I was going to bake a pie. Do you want any? Guess I can come over for a bit. Okay, this is the same thing. Look at Susie's head. Big head. Dumb head. Feel free to come in. Hey. Oh, excuse me. I'm Chris's mother, Toriel. Yes, ma'am, I remember. Hey. Oh, you do? And you are Susie? Are you not? Huh? You, remember my name too? Of course. Miss Alphys is a good friend of mine. She often talks about you. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, I'm about to skip over this. Chris, tell is Alphys saying about me. Okay, this is the same thing. So why don't you wash your hands over there? Then we can make the pie together. Make it together? I don't know how to. Do not worry, I can teach you. Okay. Chris, Susie seems like a nice girl. I am very happy you're friends with her, but... Chris, I heard from Alphys about her behavior. If by any chance she influences you, leave the chalk alone, alright? Okay, this is the same thing. Hands washed. Wonderful, now we can... Oh, Chris, how about you show Susie how to bake it? Chris, you know how to make pie? Make a pie? Don't have you made me any then, dumbass. You pie hoarding piece of... Bro, not in front of my mom. I mean, excuse me, ma'am. Susie, you can just call me Toriel outside of school. Oh, okay, sweet. Huh, Chris? Oh, you need to wash your hands too? Then I suppose I shall teach Susie for now. Susie and I will start getting ready to make the pie. We will? Wait, should I went to the bunker? Okay, whatever. Okay, this is the same thing. I'm about to skip through this then. If nothing's new. Then the tap will be waiting until you choose to run it. Okay, it's the same thing. I'm about to skip through this though. Okay, I'm gonna skip through this though. Everything seems the same. Okay. Looks like it hurts. Why is he hiding hearts? I never... Like, what? What's he doing? So there's nothing else new? I thought we wouldn't allow Susie to come into our house or something. Dang. crazy. What's he doing outside? Okay, this is the same thing. Oh, let's get some flour. Blah, blah, blah. Same thing. All right, where the hell is Chris? I'm weak. Yeah, let's go. Come on, come on, come on. I'm trying to watch a video explaining all of this. Look at his hand. Dang. He stops the tab, but he doesn't get his heart back. He washed his face. Okay, he got his heart back. I do not understand this. Your hands are clean. Okay. So there's nothing new. Hey Chris, hurry up next time. We're already almost done. So what's next? Oh, the pie. We already worked quite hard, have we not? How about we finish it later? Okay, same thing. Then, I guess I'll walk home. Oh, no, there's no need to do that. Okay, same thing. Susie, would you like to stay over? Okay. A couch is used to be used as a bed. It's not perfect, but we could all sleep out here. Hey. Okay, she doesn't call her parents. Of course, yeah, of course. You don't call your parents. She doesn't even call her parents. This is crazy. There, chill out for a sec. Oh, I could choose. What's her name? When she said, when Susie tells me who to choose, I could choose, Noelle. Wonder what happens. Okay, maybe between the pillows. Okay, yeah. Marathon. I'm not marathoning nothing with you. Okay, come on. Ha ha ha. It's been a good day, huh, Chris? I killed so many people. You, Rose, Lancer, everyone. It's just cool hanging out together, right? That's why, you know, don't you think we should try to have them come to... Okay, same thing. Walk to school together. I mean, we'll be unstoppable. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, shampoo. Come on. So the festival's festival. Okay, that thing where the town becomes a carnival. Stupid, right? No. I feel like it's cool. But say you had to take someone, Noelle or Rouse? Noelle. What? Why are you saying get so confused? Huh? What? Why are you saying get so confused? It's not like I meant anything weird. You know what? Forget it. So nothing changed. It's like let's go back to watching TV. Okay, giant monster. Okay, let me get comfortable. She falls asleep. Bruh. Susie fell asleep. Her snoring. I fell asleep too. Officer. Thank goodness I finally got through. Wait, she saw it? I thought I saw someone prowling around outside. When I checked our car tires looked like they'd been slashed. Officer, if you could please come over. You will? Soon? Thank you. Bro, we're dead asleep. They're already asleep. And she's reading a book. Is this new? How can you sleep on like one of those? One of those. It's not even a couch. It's a like, you feel me? You can't even lay your feet. How can you sleep on a chair? It's a chair. How can you sleep on a chair? I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that in this chair. And he creates the fountain here. He opens the door? Why did he open the door? Did he do that last time? I don't think so. That was so hype. That was so hype the first time I saw it. I put the heart right back into his chest. Bro, 40, how many, it's like 37 days until chapter 3 comes out. I mean, chapter 3 and 4. So cool. I hope that I could do the genocide route in chapter 3. Hopefully. So no other differences? Aw. Yeah. Like, I'm about to watch a video on this. Yeah. Hey. Like, what was it? Snowgrave. Okay, I'm gonna do Snowgrave explained. Okay, that's it. Nothing else? Nothing else. Aw. Okay. You feel me? Okay, boom. I got to watch a video explaining this.
Hey guys, Super Horror Bro Mike here, and in today's video, we take another look at the creepy side of Deltarune Chapter 2.
Chapter 2.
Part 2 of a mini-series in which we explore the dark side of Toby Fox's follow-up to Undertale. Both games at first glance seem fairly light-hearted, but in...
Okay, wait, let me hear myself. I'm sweating.
Follow-up to Undertale.
Undertale.
At first glance seem fairly light-hearted, but in...
One of those... I got to
take another look at the creepy side of Deltarune Chapter 2.
Chapter 2.
Part 2 of a mini-series in which we...
Okay, boom.
In fact, contain many disturbing moments hidden within. In part 1, we looked at how to access the secret boss fight, Spamton Neo,
I already did that.
And explained his tragic backstory. Today, things get even more sinister as we explore
21 minutes,
how to
golly.
unlock Deltarune's genocide route.
Okay, done that.
Fans, the Snowgrave path.
Oh, they named it Snowgrave. Hard. Explain
how to access the Snowgrave
oh, because
story path. We will also
because I did Snowgrave.
How it changes events thereafter.
Okay, yeah,
so
I need that.
Sit back, relax.
I could skip through this.
In story path away from the other me.
Okay, I did this.
His enemies to the spot.
Okay, I can skip to the end.
Creepy about ride with me. Noelle
offered
to ride with her. Afterwards, we are presented with an option for Chris to speak to himself, stating, "Noelle will ride with me." She
What?
more controlling,
I didn't do that.
Snowgrave,
I did not do that.
Pick the most inappropriate dialogue options. An example of this can be seen here, where the two reminisce of how Chris terrified Noelle on a big wheel many years ago. Therefore, she declines Chris's offer to ride with her. Afterwards, we are presented with an option for Chris to speak to himself, stating, "Noelle will ride with me."
What?
Noelle seems flustered by this forceful statement and reluctantly agrees, but is also fazed about Chris acting so pushy. Next, walk over to the shoe store vendor and strike up a conversation.
Okay, I did that.
The vendor offers the duo some dating shoes. Noelle is quick to clarify Chris something else.
Okay, I did that. Okay, I did this.
Thinking Chris is offering to purchase the ring for her, but upon and equip the freeze ring, allowing Noelle to become stronger than ever before. Now she becomes enveloped in a bubble.
Okay, I did this.
A creepy remix of the Cyber City theme.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Out.
I did all this. Yep, I killed that man.
Altered and now resemble paintings of Spamton. All enemies now belong to some capacity, and the two infected Spamton's code, turning him into a puppet for their own misdeed.
Okay, did that. Okay, I'm gonna see at the end.
But not everything is normal. Birdley doesn't wake up.
Oh wait, let me check real quick.
Code, turning him into a puppet for their own misdeed.
Okay, okay, I'm gonna see at the end. Okay, yeah. I just gotta lower it a little bit more. Boom.
In fact, no one can wake him. He simply lays slumped over the desk.
He did.
To be sleeping, but is he? When returning to the Dark World and visiting Castletown, Chris and Susie meet up with the Queen, who comments on how empty it feels. When then exploring the town, it is indeed eerily quiet. No monsters were recruited, so everything is silent and the whole place feels like a ghost town. Only the monsters encountered in Chapter 1 remain. When talking to the king, he refuses to get into a proper conversation, simply stating, "You left them behind, didn't you? Just as you left us." But the creepiest part of the Snowgrave path is found upon meeting with Noelle.
These are the only changes?
While speaking with her father and playing a portable video game, Noelle mentions using the Ice Shock ability. Her dad comments on how she is hogging the controller and acting a little differently. Noelle claims she has just had a weird dream, but feels fine, although we can tell this isn't the case. When she notices Chris standing at the far
she knows Chris first.
Noelle acts shocked. She quickly hurries out. This is where things become very strange. As Chris leaves the room, we hear an internal monologue from Noelle, where she alludes to some key information relating to Chris and the entity which takes hold of him during certain points in the story. Here is the sequence in full.
Okay, I saw this. So that's it? That's the only differences? So terrifying.
Mentioned, we've already run quite long, and there are several quite disturbing possibilities for the direction this story to, which will this look at if you horror video.
Oh, so that's it? Oh my god, I thought it was more. No cap, I thought it was more. Animation. What? Hard. This is so hard. This is hard. This is crazy. What the? Look at Chris. Chris looks crazy. Getting stronger, dang. Terrifying. He looks so terrified. What? Proceed where? No, what the heck is he's talking about? Crazy. Dang, this animation is insane. Dang. Bradley should have ran. Dang. I'm telling Kurt what to do. Yo. Yo. Dog. Like I'm freaked out. Did I die? Does everyone die here? So people lived through it? Dang it. So I'm the only person that died doing it? Oh, is that us? Oh, wait, who's the person behind the screen? Is that me? I don't know that spell. I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Look at Chris. I'm telling you to stop. Okay, that is us. That is us. Bro. Look at Chris's face. This animation is 10 out of 10. Oh, she got the thorn ring. Dang, Bradley. Tough. Tough. Dang. RP. RIP. Okay. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, big dog. Rest in peace. Look at Chris's face. He said, "What have you done?" What? What happened? You killed the man. There was so much snow, I couldn't see anything. Dang. I. Oof. I don't feel so good. Dang, look at Chris. I think I'm going to go home. Dang, I wanted. What did Susie tell Noel? I wanted to see their interaction. Dang. End of the animation. Hot. So dope. No cap. So flippin' dope. What's good? Have you seen Deltarune? One hell of a ride. It has nothing to do with snowgrave, but it's the friend inside me. Huh? One hell of a ride. Is it different? It's like, you feel me? Oh, it's a fan made game.
So, I met this little bomb that dropped down the alleyway earlier this morning. And let me tell you, they were quite the hoot. Small, milk, and even brought enough friend alongside. But I couldn't care less about that. They're only here to look for another round.
What the?
Let me tell you, partner.
Partner?
Let's make this one hell of a ride.
Okay, this is crazy. What a tarnation. Okay, this is pretty cool. Chapter 3 fan made. I want something in the continuity. What, people play this? Wait, you only reacted to it?
The letters saying yeehaw.
Wait, did he play it?
What a waste of energy, but looks at the dance again.
Oh, he only reacted to it.
Oh boy, okay, just like in the
Oh no, he played it.
Got
Oh no.
hooked on it, but oh my god.
Should I play this? Should I play it? Is it that good? The wordy theory. Oh, that's his name? Huh? Oh, wait, what?
Hello everyone, my name is Spooky Dude, and today I would like to shove you all into a void of madness as I have developed the most insane theory humanly possible. I honestly can't believe all the puzzle pieces in this are fitting together. This was intended to be a miserable video, a video where I talk about how nothing matters and how you all have to stop looking into tiny details.
Everything matters.
Ridiculous conspiracy that I have come up with, and I am so glad.
So this is fan made too?
If you clicked on this video, you've seen the thumbnail.
Oh, this is so cool.
You've seen the title. You know this is going to go off the rails. Toby Fox just released the latest installment of the Deltarune newsletter, a collection of
2023
factoids, news, and Deltarune up.
Okay, wait, let me. 2033. I was saying here with 2033. Oh, this is so cool. Okay, I gotta up the. It's not a game. It's like animation. Okay. I gotta up the audio. A tiny bit.
This time around, Toby has shared a little bit of information regarding Chapter 3. He joked about this area with a whole bunch of trees that when they were testing caused the game to lag. He revealed Chapter 3 is about to be finished, and he actually revealed that it was actually in the stage of being translated, which is great.
Translated? What?
But he also shared some shocking news, some tragic news.
Oh, let me check one more time.
The rails. Toby Fox just released.
It's not a game. It's like animation. Okay. I gotta up the audio.
A little bit of information regarding Chapter 3. He joked about this area with a whole bunch of trees that when they were testing caused the game to lag. He revealed Chapter 3 is about to be finished, and he
Ahmed, talk, Ahmed.
Actually in the stage of being translated, which is great.
Translated? What?
But he also shared some shocking news, some
Okay, yeah. That's pretty good.
Please remove your caps as I read to you this very, very sad news. He says, true maniacs know that there is some sort of extremely brief cowboy scene in Chapter 3. This was teased on the Spamton Sweepstakes website. However, this segment is in danger of being canceled. Seriously.
No.
One of the only segments that we teased may end up canceled? Well, that's just how cowboy shows go, I guess. This is really tragic news for everyone who was really excited for 2 minutes of mildly entertaining shootout action.
I love
Or is
shootouts.
See, many fans have pieced together a secret plot, a crazy, Mobius double reach around Toby Fox plot twist that he has planted right under our noses. Many people are suggesting that Toby Fox has purposefully just revealed the secret boss for Chapter 3. Fans are suggesting that Toby's wording in this newsletter is very odd. He doesn't say that the segment is getting...
I mean, it makes sense. Secret boss. The theory exists because Toby Fox used clips. Okay, okay, they're explaining it here. They're explaining it here. I don't want to spoil myself. They're explaining it right here. This guy's explaining. I mean, it makes sense. Secret boss. I gotta up it a little bit. I mean, it makes
wording in this newsletter is very secret boss for Chapter 3.
Okay, I haven't talked.
Fans are suggesting that Toby's wording...
Okay, yeah. That's good.
Taking out this segment is scrapped. He specifically says it's in danger of being canceled. What does that mean? How does he not know if it'll be canceled or not? You have to admit, it's weird wording, all right? And I will definitely agree with that. To make matters more interesting, he says that Chapter 3 is just about finished, so it's odd that he still isn't sure whether or not the scene will be added in. Add to this the fact that the original teaser was the only teaser on a different site, that being bluebubble.rodeo. That's where the original cowboy section teaser was. With the blue bubble potentially referencing Peepus, a tie to the secret boss Hampton, and suddenly we are uncovering this
wait, let me check it.
deep plot.
Let me check it one more time.
In this newsletter is very odd. He doesn't say that the segment...
Dog. Okay, wait. It gotta be perfect. Okay, come on.
Caused the game to lag. He revealed Chapter 3 is about to be finished, and
Played in. What?
but he also shared some shocking news, some tragic news.
Oh, let me talk.
Namely, well, who
What else?
A twist. Fox's word.
Okay, they're explaining it here.
Weird wording. Chapter 3 is just about finished. The fact that the original teaser was the that's where the secret
Bus.
and suddenly we are uncovering
Okay, wait, let me check it. Let me check it one more time. Okay, yeah, I gotta down there a little bit.
Is what everyone seems to think. I'd like to take this time to point something out. I love Deltarune. I've spent hundreds of hours coming up with fun theories and talking with people about it on Discord. That being said,
Hundreds of hours.
The channel has been largely negative. So far, my theories have been, this song isn't connected to Deltarune, Kara won't be in Deltarune.
Bro, I'm sorry. I just gotta check it. Bro, like, my delay, I'm too delayed. Bro. Oh, no, it's good, it's good. I got it.
Shipping is dumb and you're all stupid. Okay, that last one's an exaggeration, but still.
Mm-hmm.
My channel has largely been me attempting to debunk things. You know, trying to find ways to remove meaning from things that so many people think has meaning.
So you're a hater.
Midway through a video, talking about how all that evidence that's pointing to Azrael being dead might not actually mean anything when I saw the newsletter. And so, you know,
he's a hater.
I don't like being super negative, but I feel like sometimes there needs to be a negative voice telling, like, how a cat jumps up on the ledge.
Why?
Get off, get down, get down. You know,
what?
All of these theorists are jumping on Skies Forever Blue and his newest song, The Greatest Living Show, and they're like, oh, it's Gaster. Oh, the ribbon, it's Das. And, like...
It could be.
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of that. But this time, I think there is something here.
Okay.
I think there's the possibility that Toby Fox is intending something. And like I said, you know, fans are starting to believe everything ever made is somehow part of Deltarune. The Greatest Living Show, Skies Forever Blue, Toby Fox's tweets from 20 years ago, you know, it's all connected. It's all this giant...
20 years ago. Tweets from 20 years.
Honestly, with how mysterious Toby's been about the game, you can't entirely blame them. This out-of-nowhere, hey, that cowboy segment is canceled update seems incredibly suspicious.
Okay, it is.
It's also the focus of the Deltarune update section of the newsletter. To be honest with you, I can see both arguments potentially being correct. either this means nothing, there is no meaning behind this, he's being genuine and he's canceling
Pipus, Pipus,
or this is a secret teaser for the Chapter 3 Super Boss. So I think I'll
Super
down
Boss.
both lanes here. I'll use both sides of my brain.
Excuse me.
I will light and dark, your choices, all the Deltarune stuff. I will talk about both options. I honestly was starting this video, to be completely honest with you, when I started writing this video, I thought, hey, this obviously means nothing. The cowboy section was canceled. We gotta stop theorizing.
I mean, he could be lying. He could be lying though. Toby Fox always lies.
Something happened.
Happens.
I will give you a choice. I'll explain my reasoning for thinking why this means nothing. But then I will give you the most insane, unhinged theory with an incredibly detailed description of what this is teasing and who the chapter boss for Secret 3 is. Chapter boss for Secret 3. I'm going insane, all right? If you can't tell, I have stared into the void for quite a while, and it must have stared.
Bro, this look at this fan animation. This fan game is crazy.
It's the most insane theory I've managed to create. And the fact that I got it out of
So that's how you get PP.
literally
What
a sentence is incredible. So let's get the misery out of the way first. Why do I think this means nothing? I think all these theories, the secret links between everything Toby's ever said kind of theories, stem from a fundamental misunderstanding of Toby Fox himself. There's this trend I see all the time when these really out there theories come into play. Someone's talking about this theory, oh, Skies Forever Blue is connected to Deltarune. Someone says in response, I don't think Toby would do that. It's not connected. There's no word that it's connected. It claims, he's claimed that original songs are not connected. And then the response I always see is, but it's Toby Fox.
Factual.
It's Toby Fox. This one line has seemingly plagued all logical arguments as to why something isn't important. There's this unfounded...
I mean, you feel me though. He be, you feel me. I just gotta check it. Factual. Okay, I gotta up it. I mean, you feel me though. You feel me.
Belief by the community that Toby Fox is some kind of trickster, Loki-like character who shows up and lies in your face, all in the spirit of fooling you. Don't get me wrong, I understand where it comes from. Undertale is a game that plays on your expectations. It subverts tropes that have followed RPGs for years.
The audio was too low.
The thing is, all of these subversions were done purposefully and with meaning behind them. Toby didn't just pull the rug out and say, surprise, nothing you expected happened. Flowey asks you to reset because it's a big surprise. There's meaning behind it, right? There's meaning behind everything.
Okay.
The subversions in Undertale have purpose beyond just being surprising. Fans, though, seem to think Toby just outright lies. And the greatest example I think I can give of this is when Toby announced this newsletter. He said there would be little news, and people just outright didn't believe him. I saw so many people saying, well, it's Toby Fox, so he'll have a lot of big news. My favorite was someone who genuinely believed Toby was going to reveal the release date, but in a really small font, since he said there'd be little news. That'd be funny, but again, it's not something Toby would do. Toby's not a clown. Toby doesn't say, hey guys, no news tomorrow, only to reveal a lot of news because, LOL, you had your expectations subverted.
I mean, how would you know?
The community thinks of someone like Toby as a guy whose word has to be actively poked and prodded at. Nothing is as it seems, he's always lying. And to be honest, there are kind of a few times where it seems like they're right. Sometimes, Toby Fox could be, questioned. Look at what he said about Cyber City before Chapter 2 released, that it would be extremely small.
Oh, wait.
When it ended up being a larger area. First off, extremely small is subjective. Perhaps he meant, in relation to the entire chapter, or, I don't know, it could have been cut during development, or not cut, but grown during development. Regardless, he said the area was small, and then the full game came out, and it was much larger than expected.
It was huge.
That being said, I don't think everything Toby Fox says should be torn apart. He's pretty much explicitly stated that original songs are not connected to Deltarune, and then the newest...
Let me check one more time. He's
always lying, and to be honest, there are kind of could be first off, after expected.
It was huge.
That being said, I don't think everything Toby Fox...
Okay, yeah, it's good, I gotta up it a little bit though.
This newsletter, he puts his newest song on the section that explicitly clarifies it's not related to Deltarune. And yet, people still insist on analyzing how the themes of the new song could possibly connect to Deltarune. I feel like parts of the fanbase genuinely believe Toby isn't just a general trickster, but someone who is really setting up a 50 million piece mystery where it'll turn out that everything was connected. And I think it kind of ties back to Scott Cawthon and the heyday of Five Nights at Freddy's. He would outright lie to the fan base and would be called a master troll. For his fan base, which was used to frequent releases and a steady stream of news and interactions, it makes sense for him to do this kind of thing. He'd announce that he's canceling a game only for it to release randomly one day. He'd announce that he's dialing back the violence, only for it to just be a giant troll. He'd say that release is a while away and release it the next day. I see Toby Fox and his handling of Deltarune getting lumped in with that kind of attitude, seeing as he released chapters 1 and 2 randomly when nobody expected it.
Dang.
However, both chapters ended up getting some pre-release advertisement, even though most of that was through gaming news sites.
Okay.
The update claims that the Cowboy section itself is in danger of getting cancelled. It doesn't say that the Cowboy television show is getting cancelled. It says that the section of the game itself is getting cancelled. Chapter 3 is obviously late into development, and perhaps Toby realized that the section didn't fit the mood he was going for, or was just complicated enough that it would delay development even longer to make. There's no ambiguity when it comes to the update. The only line that could possibly contain any double meaning is, "That's just how cowboy shows go, I guess." But again, it's very hard to pull anything out of this either. So I think at the end of the day, I can confidently debunk this theory. Toby doesn't outright lie to us, the newsletter is explicit in saying the section is cancelled, and I feel like this entire mega teaser theory is built on a weak foundation of not understanding why Toby has surprised us in the past. After all, I can't think of any way to logically tie the cowboy theme into the Super Boss. I mean, what kind of cancelled cowboy show could make sense?
Okay.
No, it all makes sense.
What's up?
It all makes sense.
Talk to me. Part 2?
Let's activate that other side
Woody.
of the brain. Let's go down that other path. Pretend for 1 second that there is no question of whether or not this means anything. Pretend for 1 second this does mean something, and I am here tasked with pulling meaning from it.
Okay.
You want crazy? You have got crazy. This is by far the second most insane theory I've come up with. The first, of course, being my big gap.
Wait, let me... Was he right, though?
Should be torn apart. He's pretty much explicitly stated surprised us in the past. After all, I can't think of any way to logically tie the cowboy theme sense.
Okay.
No.
Okay, yeah, it's good.
Master theory, but that's insane because it's wide-reaching across the whole story. This is insane because it is just insane, all right? I decided to turn off the rational part of my brain and instead look at this entirely with the belief that it's meant to be some kind of tease. And I can't believe the puzzle pieces coming together. Let's pretend for 1 second Toby is teasing a secret boss here. There is one line I can see with some kind of double meaning. Well, that's how cowboy shows go, I guess. What is the point of that statement? Why would he say that? It's you know, it has to mean something, right?
Factual.
My thought is that he's trying to tie it to the death of the Western. You know, as the genre was largely erased from the American conscience sometime before the 1970s. But why? Why would he be referencing that? Perhaps being tied to this concept, you know, the Western and how it kind of faded out, is what will allow the secret boss to still fit in with both the TV theme and the theme of being discarded. But what an odd topic to reference, especially for his audience. Not only that, but I feel like the discarded theme would work if it ties to a specific show, not just the concept in general. Can we name any specific cowboy show that was canceled? That would still be known by the age demographic of Deltarune's audience? That can tie into Deltarune's themes? That features some recognizable quirk that can easily tie it to this game? That Toby Fox has been teasing under our noses this whole time? Woody's Roundup. That's right. Welcome to Woody Theory. Woody's Roundup is the name of a fictional TV show that featured Sheriff Woody, shown in Toy Story 2. Woody's Roundup in Toy Story 2 was a canceled television show. It was canceled and the last episode never aired. What if Deltarune Chapter 3's Superboss is a Sheriff Woody parody?
I think he's going somewhere with this.
The discarded theme comes into play. If the Superboss is Mike, it could easily tie into Spamton. Puppets, strings, it all makes sense. Maybe Mike has a pull string and they can only say a few things, parallel to how Chris can't truly speak their mind, with only a set amount of options in each dialogue choice. And wait a minute, What has Toby Fox incessantly been posting about on Tumblr? Friend Inside Me, his Toy Story fan song. He's reposted this dozens of times and posted new versions of this messed up song. I think we're onto something here. What if that's what Toby has been doing this whole time? What if the reason he has been messing with Friend Inside Me is because he's going to sample the instruments and use it for the Super Boss theme? But how could it tie into the themes presented in Deltarune? Wait a minute. Maybe Mike isn't the Woody stand-in. Maybe Mike is a microphone. His microphone, the one inside him that controls everything you're allowed to say. Maybe his pull string, which connects back to strings, is connected to Mike, the friend inside me.
I mean,
this isn't even a joke theory. I genuinely believe it's possible.
Not gonna lie, yeah, no cap.
Themes with the secret bosses, Jevil and Spamton both have a carnival ride theming, with Jevil's being a merry-go-round and Spamton's being a roller coaster. There are two different attractions I can specifically think of for his theming. The racing horse kind of game where you have to get your horse to the end of the track first, or a Western-style shooting gallery. The Friend Inside Me joke that Toby's re-uploaded numerous times is a reference to two things. Chris being possessed by us, we're their friend inside me, and Mike being the small voice box inside the Woody character. There's a surprising amount that lines up here. Not only that, but we know Toby has been messing around with Toy Story related stuff. Not only has he been mixing and messing with Friend and Me, he has also specified that the entrance to Queen's Castle should look like that Toy Story ride. Chapter 1 was even about toys coming to life. How does this connect with the Shadow Mantle? Well, the word mantle means many things, including just being a covering. It could very well be one of those shawl things that cowboys wear, or alternatively, I've seen these coverings put over racing horses being called mantles as well. There's also the fact that there is an American voice actor who voiced cowboys back in the day, who was well known for when he played Marshal Tom Sellers on the 1958-59 NBC Western series Buckskin, named Mike Road. He was also a voice
okay, he's connecting dots.
Actor for many characters. A voice actor who played a cowboy, Mike. I mean, obviously this is taking it to the absolute extreme, okay? There's very little that holds it here at this point, but I think there is genuinely a chance. The Woody theory is that the secret boss of Chapter 3 will be a Woody's Roundup-inspired character, and he will be possessed in the same way Chris is, not exactly, but in a similar way, by Mike, the voice pack inside of him, who judges and makes him say things that, you know, are set amount of things, so he can't truly express his true feelings. Boom. There you go. Woody theory.
I mean...
Well, that's that. To be honest, everything lines up well with Woody theory. It's funny. You know, it's kind of a parody. I think it's a reach, but there are a genuinely concerning amount of pieces that would make sense and would be enjoyable. And I don't know, having Sheriff Woody be the secret boss after so much Tumblr teasing does sound like something Toby would do. I hope it's real, but
not gonna lie, me too.
Comments. Do you think that Toby is being genuine? Do you think he's really canceling that section? Or do you think it's a super secret teaser for a super boss? Do you think it's some kind of Western boss, or what are you thinking? Do you think that my Woody theory is right? Make sure to like, share, subscribe.
Dang. Not gonna lie, that was insane. That was insanity. Bro, his theories are freaking crazy. I love that 50 he's a theories YouTuber. Connection. Guess wants our memories.
Let's talk about connection.
Bro, this is interesting. No cap.
An unsightly soup of 1,000 different ideas.
Okay, well, it's not a game. It's like an animation. The Woody theory exists because Toby Fox is a clip of "You've Got a Friend in Me" from Toy Story. He clipped it to sound like "Friend Inside Me," and now people are going nuts. What? Yeah, I just watched them. Just watched them. No, it's not watched yet. Yeah, put detergent in there. Yeah, I get them. Okay, the Woody theory exists. It is a friend inside me, and now people are going nuts. Wait, I just realized that Spamton's the great in the background. Scampton is Spamton as Jebel. Huh? Wait, what?
Ideas and themes,
what?
Most of which will probably mesh together and combine into a central idea by the time the full game comes out. But, as a theorist, I can't help but try and begin the process myself, line up all the different ideas that the game presents, and figure out on my own where it's going with them. And recently, I was thinking about the idea of connections. This seems to be a theme within Deltarune. We are connected to Gaster, we are connected to Chris, we make connections through the Dark World, we connect to Noelle in a certainly unique way. It almost feels like Deltarune,
I still hear their
I don't
voice.
know, will use the concept of connections as a means to tell a story, and perhaps will, in turn, say something about the way we form connections. As I started thinking about it, I couldn't help but accidentally create an entirely new, pretty crack theory. So then, my name is Spooky Dude, make sure to like and subscribe, and... what's the deal with the Goners? What's the deal with Des?
Talk to me.
Why should we want to find her? Why does Gaster specifically want us to help him?
Find her.
All valid questions.
Noelle?
Questions that I will aim to answer in this video. Deltarune. Connection theory. The word connection can mean many things in the context of Deltarune. Caddy says it's hard to connect with Braddy, with the term referring to their inability to become friends. Alvin says that a hammer is buried in Gerson's honor to connect his spirit to the divine, with the word connection seemingly referencing some form of ascension to heaven. And Gaster asks in the beginning of the game, are we connected? Who knows what that is referring to? There's no internet connection. There may be connections between Deltarune and Undertale. Connection is just a word. But after taking a step back, I really do believe that connection is a largely relevant idea to the core narrative. But first, let's talk about Goners. Undertale's Goners are largely absent from modern-day theory discussions. They came, they saw, they gastered, and since then, zero relevance has been assigned to them. Many believe that the physical nature of the Goners isn't something that requires explaining, as they've already had their moment of relevance. You could argue that acting as a sort of Gaster teaser was their entire purpose. However, I think that there's a lot more to talk about here. Let's quickly go over the Goners. There are 3 different types of Goners in Undertale. Goners who are simply just Goners, Goners who disappear after speaking to them while playing this sound effect, and Goners who are Gaster followers. There is some overlap between those last two, as this Gaster follower disappears after talking to him. It's worth noting that the most prominent instance of this is Mystery Man himself. Considering that this Gaster follower says he's holding a piece of him, and Mystery Man is thought to be a physical shard of Gaster, is it possible that the simple physical existence of Gaster in any form is what makes these Goners disappear? That would imply, however, that Clam Goner, who tells us that our time to meet Susie is fast approaching, is also...
wait, what? What? Susie? So you never met my neighbor's daughter, but please don't despair, because the time that you will meet her is fast approaching. How would you know it's Susie?
Piece of Gaster. Goner, who tells us that our time to meet Susie is fast approaching, is also holding a physical piece of Gaster. Maybe this weird eye pearl thing, which replaces their normal face? Regardless, this is just worth keeping in mind. Explaining what the Goners are has been very difficult, as regardless of their intentions narratively or speaking quirks, they are identical to other in-game monsters. Any explanation has to take this fact into account. But as I said before,
is it different?
I think I know what a Goner is, and knowing this information, it completely redefines what we think about these characters. Deltarune explicitly tells us what a Goner is. In the intro sequence called the Goner Maker, we construct a vessel. But this vessel is a Goner. In the files, the parts that construct it are called Goner Body, Goner Head, and Goner Legs. In my opinion, this is undeniable proof that this is a Goner. But what does it tell us about the form and function of the other Goners? Well, since I don't see a reason to assume this is some special case Goner, but is, in fact, indicative of how a regular Goner is made, otherwise why go out of your way as Toby Fox to let us know that this is a Goner in the first place, we can come to the conclusion that Goners are made up of 2 separate entities. A physical body and something that controls it, like a soul. This is not actually that crack. Like I said before, one of the biggest reasons Undertale's Goners are unexplainable is because they're identical to existent monsters. Trying to explain how this character, who looks just like this character, is a Gaster follower is very difficult. However, with this newfound knowledge, we can determine that this Goner doesn't actually look like Monster Kid, only its body does. Same with all of these. In a similar process to us creating the vessel, the Goners are vessel bodies, resembling that of existent characters, with some outside entity controlling them. So then, if what I'm saying is true, if Goners are actually 2 separate entities, a body resembling that of something that lives within the world, and a soul from somewhere else controlling the thing, Who are these goners actually? If this isn't really Monster Kid, who is it? And to be completely honest, we don't really know. At least, we don't know who they are specifically, but we do know what they are. Dead.
What?
Undertale uses the word goner a few times. Alphys talks about the monsters who fell down, who've suddenly begun walking again. She says, I thought they were goners.
Ooh.
She clearly means that she thought they would die. When Undyne saves Monster Kid, they say, I thought I was a goner. Again, clear meaning here. Asriel's big attack is also called Hyper Goner. The word goner is being used to refer to dead people. As it is in real life, if you try skateboarding down Doom Mountain, you're a goner. It's a term that means to die or to perish, and I think its usage here is the exact same. The souls commanding these vessels are dead monsters. But how can I be so sure? Besides the name spelling it out for us, that seems like a logical leap. And it all comes back to Goner Kid. The story they tell is often misattributed to being that of someone who's wiped from the timeline. Someone who wakes up and, in an almost sci-fi way, no longer exists and never did. This is not true at all. Goner Kid is talking about what happens when you die. Plain and simple. Have you ever thought about a world where everything is exactly the same, except you don't exist? Everything functions perfectly without you.
Scary.
The thought terrifies me. If you hand them an umbrella, they thank you. Before telling you, it makes them feel better about the situation.
Damn.
Conversation with, please forget about me. This is a dead monster. Someone who is indeed talking about being forgotten. But not in the forceful, wiped from the timeline type way. You're forgotten by those who you loved. This is arguably what happened to Gaster, is it not? Yes, he was shattered throughout time and space. The Goners all clearly talk about him, but he was never actually forgotten. It is said that Asgore took a long time to replace him, and yet, for someone so instrumental to the survival of the underground, who established a strong source of energy during a time of crisis, there's no real mark that he exists. Gaster fell into his creation, and to the Undertale world, he was dead. At least functionally dead. Regardless of what actually happened, it's clear that he was no longer existent, ripped from reality. Nobody forgot about him due to the accident. They forgot about him because time moved on. There's no statue of the genius scientist who built the core. There's no plaque in the lab recalling his achievements. Nobody speaks about him whatsoever. Is it because he wasn't too good a person? Is it because they believe he ran away and just has yet to come back? Is it because trying to keep him alive through memory is a Herculean task that requires accepting that he's gone? Frankly, I don't know. But he's gone. And through space and through time, he witnessed a world that functioned perfectly without him.
Damn.
Everything was the exact same, except he no longer exists. No remnant, statue, memory, or indication that he was once alive exists. And yet, despite everything, something changed. Gaster was able to come back, in pieces, fragments. Others as well were able to go from the land of the departed back to the land of the living. They were still connected to the world they once belonged to, and it was here where Gaster would be made aware of somebody. Somebody very, very interesting. Somebody who, based on the very notion that he exists, would pore over every tiny detail until they found him. Someone
The
like
player?
you. Despite Gaster's fate, we still search for him. An entire internet subculture formed dedicated specifically to
weak.
him. Half of all Undertale fanworks at least touch on him. His memory was kept alive, and in a sense, so was he. So how does this connect to Deltarune? Well, I think we're watching this exact thing play out to another character.
Who?
Did you know that Noelle has a sister? Because I certainly didn't realize it, not until after Chapter 2 came out, and even then I thought it was such a minor detail I really didn't find it too interesting. However, for all true Delta heads in the audience, you know that once you start looking into things, the existence of December holiday is a mystery.
Okay, I gotta see that.
You know that once you start looking into things, it's too interesting. However, for all true Delta heads in the audience, you know that once you start looking into things, it's too interesting.
Dog.
However, for all true Delta heads in the audience, you know that once you start looking into things, too interesting. However, for all true Delta heads in the audience, you know that once you start looking into things,
Okay, I got it.
interesting. However, for all true Delta heads in the audience, you know that once you start looking into things,
Dang it. Like I'm last time.
However, for all true Delta heads in the audience, you know that once you start looking into things...
Dog, what? I had it.
However, for all true Delta heads in the audience, you know that once you start looking into things...
Okay, I don't care.
The existence of December Holiday
I had
is
it.
history. December Holiday is a name that hasn't been spoken in any official capacity ever. There's been zero actual confirmation that December is even this character's name. So, who is December Holiday, and why is finding her so important? There's plenty of December information to be found on the internet. Half-Bred Chaos actually made a really good video recently that acts as a great source of Des lore, basically combining everything we know about her. Despite her absence in the central plot, she's constantly around in ways. Noelle talks about her memories with Des. Rudy keeps a doll that he says Noelle and Des made. Attributes of Des are all over, specifically the baseball moon, letters that spell out her name, and yet, despite this, has anyone else noticed the complete lack of Des dialogue? Nobody has ever spoken her full name. Literally only Noelle and Rudy have spoken the word Des. Is she missing? Dead? Purposefully ran away? Neither of these answers fully explain why the town seems to pretend like she never existed. There's no tombstone. There's no missing poster. I think it's obvious that Des is lost in the code somewhere, or lost in the depths, if you'd prefer, based on the few hints here and there, specifically her presence within the Dark Worlds and the unused dialogue. And yet, for
unused dialogue.
So important to so many people, why
I gotta
isn't
look that up
anyone
next.
talking about her? In a sense, we're witnessing the same thing happen to Des that happened to Gaster. When you start thinking of Gaster this way, a lot of the dialogue Undertale provides us lines up. His life was cut short, he vanished without a trace, just like December. But he's still listening. He's still around. He sees this world from his perspective. And so does Des, even going as far as to communicate directly to us during Spamton's dialogue.
Oh, that's her?
How
Him?
does that feel? Imagine being wiped from existence. You still see them, your family, your friends. You watch as your continued non-existence is too heavy a burden for them to bear, as they slowly free themselves from this agony by cutting any ties left to you. You can't be a part of their world anymore, because it hurts to have you around and know that you won't ever be around again.
Aww.
What if there's a way? A way to save December. Despite everything, you still feel that the universe is unsettled, that perhaps there's a way to solve the unsolvable maze. There is still hope. Neither December nor Gaster are truly dead. December still has a singular foothold into the world, one potential way to be brought back to reality. Why does Deltarune treat the word December like such a taboo subject? Noelle has no problem talking about Des, but she'll never once invoke the full name of her missing sister. The game never explicitly says the word outside of the spelling bee, and even then the word is used purely to describe the month, not the person.
That's why she
Even
couldn't spell it.
on the calendar, the game tells us every page is the last month. Why not just say December? Why can Rudy and Noelle say the name Des, but nobody wants to talk about December? I've seen suggestions that Des changed her name for one reason or another, and while I enjoy those theories, I don't necessarily agree. Noelle called her Des from a very, very young age, as you can see from the sweepstakes webpage. Among other reasons, it seems unlikely. That being said, I have a different suggestion. The reason that Des is accessible on the website, and a name nobody's afraid to say, while any reference to December is removed from existence and unable to be spoken.
Dang.
Because December is gone. But Des isn't. No, they're not two people, they're two different concepts, symbolically. December is the actual person, the real-life version of Des who is gone, and for the narrative's purpose, dead. Meanwhile, Des is still alive. Des is the memory of December, a nickname used by those close to her, a name used only in conjunction with memories. Noelle and Rudy are keeping Des alive in the same way that nobody could for Gaster. What is power? Deltarune uses the term in place of determination at every save point. You are filled with the power of blank. The power of blank shines within you. The term determination refers to a lot of things, including the actual physical substance that Frisk had more of than anyone else. In Deltarune, though, the word power can't really refer to anything specific, right? How can the power of fluffy boys shines within you mean something deeper? Well, I think that looking at Deltarune from this lens of memories being a tether to keep things alive, perhaps we can explain things. The power is the power of memories, and allowing yourself to mentally connect to the game's world. All of these instances of power shining within us is a memory. You are filled with the power of immediate nostalgia. You're filled with the power of book holes. Oftentimes these sentences come after a description of what just happened. Crash, boom, bang, there's a terrific noise coming from the building nearby. You are filled with the power of noise music. To keep memories of someone is to be connected to them in some way. Despite their absence, you still exist, and you keep them alive. You keep them around through memories. A special connection only you two share. Perhaps this power of memories, is what's able to keep things alive. To keep Des alive. After all, the song Don't Forget says, "There's a light inside your soul that's still shining in the cold, with the truth, the promise in our hearts. Don't forget, I'm with you in the dark." These lyrics line up with the way that the power of our memories shines within us. Deltarune is obviously going to comment on the way we relate to fiction or dreams or fantasy, and as a sequel to a game that will never be forgotten, I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of the major themes of this game. That reality needs to be accepted. It cannot be replaced by fiction, but the one thing that we'll always have to keep that fiction existent is the power of memories. And as I said before, perhaps this power is enough to save Des. But they're fighting a losing battle. Rudy is going to die, leaving behind the only other character who still talks about Des.
Damn.
A character who was very, very good at repressing memories. Beyond just remembering Des, I think Noelle is the final thing keeping Des alive. The one connection to the real world that Des has. The final string tethering Des to existence before she gets sucked away into whatever the depths is supposed to be. And that's the fact that Noelle not only remembers Des, but is looking for her. Searching for her. Constantly. But after everyone else is gone, if Noelle decides to stop looking for Des and move on with her life, what then? Halfbread brought up a great point in their Des video. December is hardly mentioned on the Weird Route. I think it's also worth mentioning that the Weird Route heavily features Noelle blocking out old memories. Although this is a trait featured across both routes, it seems it's specifically focused on in the Weird Route. I think that Deltarune's ultimate end goal is going to revolve around December. I imagine that whatever Chris is going through, that loss of their childhood and agency, probably started sometime around whatever happened to Des that split the holidays and the Dreamers apart. I think that's why Find Her is so prominent, because we're going to have to find her. She's lost, but Noelle, us, and perhaps Chris have the power to bend the world in ways nobody else does. Maybe, with our combined powers, we'll be able to find her. How, exactly? Now, I'm going to get off script for a minute because I think this is really a larger discussion. There are so many things that Deltarune is doing, and it's impossible to nail down exactly how this is going to work. Because again, this ties directly into Gaster, someone who Toby is clearly trying to be completely mysterious about. In my last video, I said that Gaster's kind of like a creepypasta type character, which that's not really my full thoughts. Ultimately, Gaster is in a video game about video games, and is a character from a video game who was cut. I think that can be the focus, that can be the lens he's looked at from. Oh, he was a cut character, and only scraps of, previously existent characters remember him. In that way, I think this kind of makes sense for Des. She was a cut character.
Okay.
Regardless, it's impossible to say exactly how. Besides the fact that, physically, we know that Gaster is in a place probably called the Depths, and if Noelle is also... I'm sorry, not Noelle. If Des is also there, then that gives some kind of physical way to maybe bring her back. If it's true that the darkness originates from the Depths, and by poking into the world, it's almost like we're poking into the code that makes Deltarune exist in the first place, there is some way I can see this working out. Some kind of Noelle, through her power of memories, is able to connect to Des on a spiritual level that brings her back. That's really the general gist I get. If you've seen my Angel's Hell video, you know I've already suggested the idea of banishing the Angel's Heaven being a way to bring someone from the depths who's stuck there. Now I think it's Gaster, because Gaster's spooky, and he's mysterious, and he's like the devil, and Gaster tricks us into, pulling him from hell. That's a cool idea. But it could also be Des. This could be where that goes down, the kind of, physical setup that would be necessary to make this thing realistic. Anyway, back to the script. It may be that the search for Des itself is the thing that will bring her back. But for mainstream players, they don't care about finding Des. We don't have memories of Des, and we sure as hell have no inherent desire to search for her when we first pick up the game. However, we do want to search for someone else. We've
Gaster.
gone into the code, we've made fan art, we've theorized, we've pushed the game so far past their limits. We've searched for Gaster with the same fervor Noel has while searching for Des. And one of the first things Gaster says to us? Have you been looking for me? How wonderful. I have been looking for you as well. Remember the Gaster followers? All they did was tell us about Gaster, many of them containing pieces of Gaster, one of them even telling us outright that it's almost time to meet Susie, this one too holding a piece of Gaster. What if they are Gaster? Or fragments of his psyche? What if this is how Gaster found out we existed? Through connecting with us in the different fun values. What if this is why Gaster needs us? Because we're the only ones still looking for him. The Goners then would have set this up, most of them likely piloted by Gaster himself, telling us about the great mystery of Gaster, leading us on. Then, Deltarune, he's connected to us using whatever program he's built. And he knows that at the edge of reality, where we may be able to connect to the depths, we'll be able to connect to him. The power of our search, our desire to find him, bringing him back. Or perhaps an alternative reading. Noel and Chris's search for Des, their desire to save her. At the end of the world, at the edge of reality, the power within our soul will shine itself towards banishing the angel's heaven, and we'll see December Holiday, brought back by Noel's search and the power of her memories. But something feels wrong. Because this isn't December. This is someone else. Our power, our desire to find him, led to one final vessel. In an opposite scenario to us and Chris, December will come back from the depths, from wherever she fell, with a new friend. Someone who knew that the combined power of us, Chris, and Des will pull not just a fully functional body, but himself from the depths as well. But ultimately, whatever ends up happening, if this theory of connection through memories is true, could the ultimate end of Deltarune be that we accept when things end? We accept that December Holiday is no more, but we'll always take the memories with us. We remember them. We keep them alive through memories. Isn't that, after all, what Sans does in Undertale? His kind of mini arc at the end of the game deals with him grappling with the fact that he'll never go back home, but he has a drawing of it, and he remembers not to forget. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed this video.
Okay, that was
This
cool.
is a total crack theory about the concept of memories, and I'm not
gonna lie, it was good, it was good, it was good, okay. Okay, one more before I end. Okay, that's hidden. What happened? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say this. Okay, everything goes back to normal. You can see it. Oh, okay, nothing happens. Okay, chapter. So there's nothing hidden? Hidden dialogue? Then 2 years ago.
Absurd amount, but there's one line of dialogue in Castle Town. I have never means this video is going to make this
AI. I guess I've seen everything. Our Chris yells after being sentenced. So he yells either way. We're controlling him. He has no voice. Okay, yeah. I think I saw everything about. I think I saw everything. Oh, let me see this real quick.
Deltarune is a game jam-packed with mysteries. Who's the knight? Why is Rouse so suspicious? What is hyperlink blocked?
Oh God.
But one thing I find most interesting is the mystery of what happened to Des. It's
Alright,
these questions. Let's start with if she's alive or dead. I believe she's still alive. Firstly, there's no evidence she's dead. All the characters refer to her disappearance, not her death. Secondly,
Okay, code.
did a great job of setting up the mystery of Des's disappearance. In the Spammed and Sweepstakes, there's an orphan page with a guitar on it called Find Her.
Okay, what I meant to say was the song that plays when you click on the guitar is called Finder.
He's clearly challenging us to find where Des is, which would be weird if Des was dead in a ditch somewhere. Finally, there's the Goner Code.
Okay.
For more in-depth analysis on the Goner Code, watch Half-Fred Chaos's video on it. The link is in the description. It goes something like this. Where am I?
I think I saw this.
Hello? Anyone? Is anyone out there? Someone. Anyone. Can anyone hear me? It's dark. It's so dark in here. Someone. Anyone. If you can hear me, say something. No one can hear me, can they? I guess not. To be honest, I'm not even sure if I can hear myself. It's so quiet in here. And yet sometimes, I swear, I hear something like scratching? Whoever this person is, they're lost somewhere beyond the bounds of reality. This dialogue is referred to as unused in the code, which is odd.
Okay.
Most unused code has a name describing its original purpose. Before it was discarded, would you include something that you never Toby Fox has learned from Undertale that people will gain access to the code and find out everything. So he uses this fact as an opportunity for storytelling. To tell the story of someone who's lost, secrets with the orphan page. For those willing to go out of their way to find...
Oh, let me see. Where is it? Goner Code.
Spoiler warning for all runs of Deltarune and Undertale. If you haven't experienced, I'd seen people discussing this, but the file looked different.
Okay, I think I saw everything about this.
To his own data, like his personality and dialogue.
Parent, child.
In that sense, you could say the mannequin is also a parent object that Spampton really doesn't want to be assigned to. Anyway, what I'm getting at is...
Okay, I'm out of here then. I think I saw everything. I just gotta wait for... Deltarune. How many more days? I gotta wait. 20 more days. June 5th. Alright. Okay. Alright. I gotta wait 20 days. I gotta wait 20 days.